We're fucking going, and we're on time. Welcome along, everybody, to round 2 of Low Drag Racing League. It is so good to be back once again after a successful first round without any of that willy-nilly steward inquiry stuff. Let's get this show on the road. I'm just doing all the promotional stuff, so bear with me. Bear with me, 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 bear with me. It's just not letting me tweet anything, is it? If it doesn't want to let me tweet, at least tell me you don't want to... Yeah, come on. Right, it's tweeted, so I can retweet it now and I can do all that good stuff. I mean, this isn't the best of starts, is it? We're not getting anywhere in this lobby. Let's ping everyone. I'm so sorry for the lack of interaction. Well, hello everybody. It is good to see you all here this evening. Round number 2 then, and for the first time, maybe, I don't have the facts. Maybe ever. We've filled the grids. And I am chuffed to bits to start off this evening. Oh, hang on, we're side by side, the two Williams in the pit lane. This is the racing we want to see. Carmen, well, poor thing. He's gone through a lot this afternoon. Just check the Premier League scores for context. He gets out ahead in that one. Right. Let's cycle through then. We've got plenty of reserves to welcome in this evening, of course. I think probably 25% of the grid is reserves, but considering we have a roster of 16 reserves, and they're still coming in thick and fast, then there is going to be absolutely no problem with that. I think it might be ERS Ardell first up. And he's up into turn 11 now. And having a look at last week's race results, he did sadly finish just outside of the points, having started P7. So maybe qualifying is going to be a bit more of a strength for him rather than the race. Of course, Bahrain and Sakir, more of a pad-friendly circuit on the F1 games. And of course, while we do cater ourselves to assists users, it might well favour those using assists on a pad as well. So we'll see. The balance of performance is going to be intriguing. Down into the first corner then, the Haas and I believe an Alpine behind, just giving way there. Stunning angles, of course, into the first corner. Turns 2 and 3. As he races up now to turn 4. Nice wide entry on the left-hand side. It was a Ferrari that took pole here in Season 3 by the name of Sam Cole. And well, that was 2.5 years ago. My commentary vastly different. When he went up into turn 4 that day, I said he took loads of curb on the right-hand side. But no, I can confirm it is on the left. If you use your own eyes, you'll be able to figure that one out. DRS about to be wide open for the Ferrari. The letterbox in the rear wing, as most like to call it. And again, he'll use plenty of the curb on the outside, just narrowly evading the brake marker boards. Oh, and he's had a slide. He's got off the track. I think he's backed out of this one. Or at least he's going slowly up through turn 11. A nasty, nasty slide to have. I think he'll complete the lap anyway, just to see where he stacks up around the rest of it. The final corner. Excuse me. Very gassy this afternoon. Don't want to be gassy, but he crosses the line. It's a 1 minute 30.9. I think many people may recognise that that is not a particularly competitive lap. We've got Com45. He's crashed out. What is going on? Down there, who is going to be next up? It's an Aston Martin, and FRT Edgars has gone quickest. I don't know how he's crashed on the right-hand side. I'm seeing if Surfy can, Jack, but it's very difficult. Because... Can I add you? Let me see. It should let me. Yeah, it can. It does in the game. EA friends. There we go. I'm sorry, I didn't realise I could do it in the game. Thank you for letting me know. That should now all be done as Smeggy goes quickest. Plenty of practice has been put into this one by Smeggy, and he is very much determined to go on and take the race victory tonight. Jab up into P2 then, an 18.244. Pluto is always a close rival. Him and Jab in P3, about a 10th behind. Rundle feels quite competitive around here as well, currently sitting on a 28.4. Let's go on board with Aaron Ocon as he works his way through turn 6 and 7. A little bit hesitant, just trying to keep the nose in check. He's absolutely fighting that Alpine steering wheel. That is one thing for sure. First time I've touched this game today. Yeah, I think same goes for the likes of Surfy, the two PC drivers this evening. Surfy initially gave up his receipt to become a reserve, having... Oh, hang on. Don't know what he's doing out there. As his Alpine teammate Aaron Ocon goes through. I think the less I question that, the better at this stage. But yeah, Surfy's landed a job in Newcastle United. I don't know what he does, catering or the stewarding, something like that. But nice to see him get home in time after a whirlwind of a game at St James's Park. Then round to the final corner comes Aaron Ocon. He'll be the next driver to cross the line with the DRS flap wide open, and he slots into the top 10. A 29.3, about 1.5 seconds off the pace at the moment set by Smeggy. GSR Thrasher, of course, another suffering Tottenham fan over in the States. Crispy is on the Inters, which is strange considering it's a short qualifying, but maybe he knows something we don't. The Paradox Sim Racing manager and engineer knows all the ins and outs. I wonder if the intermediates can bless him later on in the session. E.T. Andrea up into P3 then, just a couple hundredths in it. Him and Pluto, third and fourth respectively in the two Honda-powered cars. Ross Greenhorn, who, well, I share great pleasure in commentating with him usually. He's usually here and presentable to everybody. Of course, filling up the entire room. 10th at this moment in time. Smeggy will not improve on that lap. Okay, I dare him to retire. Greenhorn slander. Okay, well, I'll carry on that as well. Atlantis J20, another reserve we'd like to welcome back. Always has an on and off stint in league racing, but it's great to see he's made a little bit of time for us as he gets back into the flow of things. Crispy is on his way now back into the pit lane, and Jack Harrington, JH, you might otherwise know him as. I think the last time I covered one of his races was the WR Legacy Division at Silverstone. We're just a week away from the British Grand Prix in LDRL. Places are going to be very competitive with the number of reserves that we have, and of course the full-time drivers as well. Yeah, good question. Why is Beatnik out? It looks like he's in the garage, so if he's just retired there, I'm gonna chase this up. Let's see why Beatnik has retired. Apparently he crashed. Oh dear. That is a shame, and I'm just seeing a few complaints about what Blue Goggy was doing. We saw him have an off-track excursion at turn 11. I mean, we went last week without any steward inquiries. So if that's already broken... Grr indeed. Right, Cameron Todd, who it did have to make a little bit of an exemption for, which is okay. Just an honest misunderstanding. Slots into P12 at the moment in his Ferrari. Thrasher has just started on another lap. That's Andreas, stopped as he comes out of the pit lane. A nice gentlemanly thing to do, just to let the two Ferrari-powered cars make their way around. True Eden could be watching the Brighton game. He could be watching Italian F4. Of course, he's a writer and editor for Feeder Series and Dive Bomb, I think. Those are the two publications he writes some brilliant articles for. If you want to give them a read, make sure you check out the advertisement section in the Low Drag Racing League Discord. And if you are not yet in the Discord, make sure you head over to our Twitter at LowDragRL, and the link will be presented to you as you look in the bio. Crossing the line then, True Eden, P12, and he beats Cameron Todd by around 0.3 of a second, but there's 0.9 to the next car exactly, which is Aaron Ocon 31. Who's up next? Atlantis starting his lap. Pluto going again as well. No slipstreaming down at AlphaTauri. Maybe I'm just a bit used nowadays to seeing all of the ins and outs of the slipstream game. Jab, here he comes then to the final couple of corners. Turns 14 and 15. 2 into 1. And the championship leader and race winner last week, can he go on to provisional pole? Not quite, but he is into the 1 minute 27s. A 27.9. Blue Goggy has crashed out on the run up to turn 4. Again, I don't know how people are crashing in the most bizarre places, but it is what it is. Pluto, couple tenths up at the moment. Andrea, is he going into the first corner? Yes, he is. Edgar's actually slotted up into third a few moments ago. I must have missed that one. Smeggy also on an outlap. The glitch is not helping there. I'm running out of liquid. Oh, hang on. Surfy's got a bit wide as he tries to get himself accustomed to the game. Former Xbox driver now racing on the PC platform. That's another Alpine. Again, in all the wrong places. If that was his method of giving way to drivers, then that's fine, as long as it's clean. Rundle has left the session. I'll try and get him back in just a moment, but I'm sure one of 4 people in his Xbox party can get him in. E.T. Andrea is purple in the middle sector, and I think he might be up next following that. Might have been Alfa Romeo. Oh, Andrea, huge slide coming out of the final corner. He's going to cross the line here. Oh, Cameron Todd has hit Surfy. It is all gone absolutely to shit at the first couple of corners. Ice cream truck outside Axe's residence. Can I have... I don't know what they do in America. In the UK, we have the fan favourite flake cone. Smeggy is invalid on this lap. I used to love a flake. Trumeden has also retired in the pit lane. Might whack the Brighton game on for 5 minutes. I've told myself I'm not going to watch football, because I might miss battling, which Pluto did heavily criticise me for, of course. Top two currently in the pit lane. 4.5 minutes to go in the session. Here comes Pluto then, round to the final corner. He's lifted off on the battery as Jack Harrington crosses the line and goes third in his assigned Aston Martin for this evening, with both full-time drivers absent. This is going to be some race for pole if he can get it back in the pit lane in time. It looks like he's going to be pushing. He'll be back in the pits, I'd say, around 250. So I think it'll be a tight but possible turnaround. Andrea just 200ths behind at the moment. He'll be the next to pull in. No, he's actually retired. Has he crashed? He has crashed, hasn't he? Oh no. You're not the first one. Oh well. Yes, I am on my phone. Enough of that. It's outlap time. Is it Smeggy around first? Well, he certainly leads Jab. Andrea just making his way around now. Arda will come into the pit lane. Cameron Todd, is he pushing on this lap? Yeah, I think he is. So slightly out of sync with the rest of the pack. Just making sure his lap is in early and without traffic. No, he will pull into the pit lane. And that might just about be it for his session. Thrasher will be the first one around. Let's go on board with the Alfa Romeo driver around this 5.4 kilometre long circuit. First race held in 2004, and 10 years later it finds itself under the floodlights that we see today. Bit of a scrappy turn two. Though nowadays I like to consider myself not a perfectionist. But having watched a million laps of a million circuits, I've got to retract myself and go into LDRL mode. Into turn 10, and without too much fuss, he does use that outside curb just to make the most of the track available to him. Is that Surfy that's gone around on his outlap? Yes, he has. He's facing the wrong way at turn 4, managed to turn it around, and I think he kept it out of the barrier, so he will be able to go for his flying lap. It'd be a race against the clock, particularly if he has traffic in front of him then. GSR Thrasher, 6/10 up at the moment. As it stands, that will see him go above Trumeden. He'd need 6 more tenths to go in front of Aaron Ocon for P13, but if 14th is his target, then he won't have too many complaints. Into the final couple of corners he goes then, and again a neat exit. You can see just his traction control kicking in there, no problem with that, but it does mean he's hit the limit on his deployment, cross the line and does go 14th fastest. Smeggy he's purple in the middle sector at the moment. He's actually getting a bit of a tow here that looks like from Oliver Crisp, who's on an outlap and moves out of the way right at the death. So this could indeed be the lap to beat. Smeggy, DRS wide open then, and in the Haas, bottom of the championship, goes even faster by 900ths of a second. Smeggy is on provisional pole at the moment, but look out for Jab. 2.5 tenths up here. Into the final corner he goes. No slipstream available to him. He's got to do it all on his own, but can he beat Smeggy? Yes, he can, and by 800ths of a second, I think that just narrowly beats our pole margin last week of around 900ths of a second. LDRL proving very competitive, which is what we want to see. Andrea has had a bit of a messy lap and he won't improve from fourth, but it looks like he'll secure a second row start at the moment. Pluto 400ths down in the first sector. Rundle, though, on his way to the final corner, and he's almost 3/10ths up, and in a pack as tight-knit as this could see him onto the second row of the grid. LSJ Rundle, will it be enough? Oh, yes, it is. LSJ Rundle third, a 127.949. That is a sensational effort. Aaron Ocon has spun on the exit of 10. Thrasher coming back into the pit lane. Surfy, pretty lackluster lap to try and build on, but we know he is capable of it. Pluto into the final corner. This is certainly not over, and his advantage at the moment could see him join Rundle on that second row. Can he do it? Yes, he can. By about half a tenth, Rundle and Pluto snatched the second row positions off Jack Harrington and ETE Andrea respectively, leaving us just Surfy round the final corner. 2.6 seconds off. The benchmark was low, but he shoots up into P13. Aaron Ocon invalid here. And that was a very good qualifying session. I thoroughly enjoyed that. And I'm sure the 15 of you watching did as well. What a session. There's a For You page on Discord. I don't even know who that is. Whatever. Right, enough of that. These are your qualifying results. And so you can see the deltas, and so you can see how close it is. Off goes my camera momentarily, 0.079, that's all it was, between Jab and Smeggy, with Rundle and Pluto. A competitive second row indeed. Jack Harrington, fifth, followed by, Andrea. Colliers to Gamer, again his second reserve appearance. He is quite readily available. And, well, his super sub appearances going spectacularly so far. Edgars, Ardell, another strong qualifying in the top 10. I'll be hoping to convert that into points. Atlantis, Beatnik, Greenhorn, Surfy, Aaron Ocon, Thrasher, Eden, Todd, Crisp, Goggy and Com round out our top 20. And considering it is, in fact, right. Hello, I'm back. Got 2 minutes to wait. We are bang on time again. We're bang on schedule, which is brilliant. Dylan, good to see you, my friend. Welcome along to the LDRL live stream. 18 of you tuning in. And I'm going to get a quick drink top up, so I'll be back very shortly. I'm back! Hello, everybody. I needed that. Cole, Dylan with the follows. You may begin, guys. You may begin. That was my biggest worry, implementing the good couple minutes grace period. I thought nobody would follow that in the first 2 rounds, but our predecessors introduced it. People forgot very quickly. But we're ready. Fake Kit Kat wrapper is going in the bin. Welcome to the formation lap. Ooh. Where the fuck's he going? Right, okay, well that's going on. But I like this mix of tyres. We've got Edgars, we've got Ardell on the mediums, we've got Beatnik on the softs, starting P11. Got Aaron Ocon, True Eden, Com and Cameron Todd all on medium tyres as well. It was Eden, the only driver last week that started on the softs. It didn't really get him very far in the opening stages, but Beatnik, who found himself on the podium last week, his last win in Bahrain came in 2020. If Kirby wants to commentate... I didn't think of that. But he won't interfere. But, by the way, engineering is a disqualification. So, he needs to leave. Otherwise, I know who to disqualify. I'll find the rules and I'll read the rules. Hang on. Engineer. First offence is disqualification from offending race. So if I've missed it and he hasn't gone, then hurry the fuck up and leave. Oh, Jabs missed his grid slot. Plenty of drivers have missed their grid slot. So Smeggy might have the upper hand here as all 5 lights are on ahead of the drivers. And out! Sam runs away, and that was a very long wait for me indeed, but the championship leader leads us away. Smeggy alongside on the front row, and already a massive amount of chaos. That's FRT Edgars, who's made it no further than a few metres at the start of this race, but meanwhile, Jabs around the outside trying to contest Smeggy. It's 3 abreast in there as Rundle having a little bit of a nudge from ETE Andrea. Andrea almost side by side there with Pluto, but still Jab and Smeggy go at it into turn number 4. Jab's going to try and hold in the long way round, but he does the right thing and just backs off right at the death. Andrea and Pluto still wheel to wheel here, and I'm not missing this battle. into turn 7. Pluto just edges in front. Overall, it's fairly clean, but goodness knows what happened at the first corner there. Well, long before the first corner, Surfy dives down the inside of True Eden on the medium tyres again, unable to really get anywhere on this opening lap as a massive concertina effect into turn number 10. Common Cameron Todd has gone and made up loads of positions off the start here. Who's that around? It's Oliver Crisp in there. I wonder if he's away without damage. Ardell and Collius to Gamer at turn 11. It's just an endless cycle. He's hit him. He's hit Aaron Ocon. And there's, well, it looked like a little bit of lag in there. But Aaron Ocon faces the consequences and has lost a couple of positions. Beatnik having a nudge up the rear from the same Alpine, who's up 3 positions on the opening lap on softs. Otis, this is beer and kebab stream. People liked it, so I carried on. But thanks for joining. Smeggy leads us away. Jab lost the position as early as the first corner. Tried his best up towards turn 4. Just had to give way. Beatnik now up 4 positions on the soft tyres. Com has shot up 9. Ooh, and as has Cameron Todd. And Aaron Ocon is quickly dispatched. Cameron Todd will be next to try and make it double digits in terms of positions gained. Smeggy is insane. Well, 2 laps in. Yes, he is. 2 more tenths will do it in terms of breaking the DRS margin. But with Jab having 98% ERS available to him, Common Collius to Gamer. That's now 11 gains for Com. And what a start it's been for the Williams driver, who did finish in the points last time around. We've got another spinner. This time it's True Eden, is it? Up at turn number 13. And again, his aggressive start has not quite paid off. What on earth has happened to Jack Harrington, who started 5th in this race? He's now got front left end plate damage, and he's off into the pit lane with Oliver Crisp chasing him down, picking up a slipstream just to try and help him out, to defend perhaps from Blue Goggy, but nowhere near at this stage. It's starting to calm down, I hope, for the sake of my stewarding through the week. And for the sake of my mental health tonight, I've got an hour-long exam tomorrow. Shouldn't have said that. Shouldn't have said that. Surfy, the first driver to pick up a 3-second time penalty. He's still in a train currently, and almost being split up by Cameron Todd. 1.1 seconds now is the gap. So Greenhorn, who's run slightly wide and bottomed out on that curb. I'm going to stop myself quickly because that's an unorthodox move into turn 11. Jab takes the lead. Has Smeggy made a mistake, perhaps? Because I wouldn't have seen it coming from that far back. And let's continue to follow along with this battle, because both drivers have a really healthy amount of ERS. And can Smeggy perhaps retake the lead, becoming our 3rd change so far in as little as 4 laps? What on earth has gone on? That's Aaron Ocon that's gone around. He slots into the race behind his teammate as he tries to get going again. Wheel spinning on the curb. Almost couldn't get it going. He resumes down in P17, and I think he's another one that might have gotten away without any damage. Cameron Todd. Oh, that's 3 wide in there. Surfy has made a good couple of moves there. Down the inside goes Oliver Crisp, but turn 4, this contact between him and the Haas. Goodness gracious me. Oh, that was one you just had to sit back and observe. Cameron Todd down the inside of Atlantis. Again, a bit more contact, but Cameron Todd, it was as high as P10. Now suddenly drops as low as P14. Oh. Maybe I was too nice. Right, off my phone and back to the action because Blue Goggy is going to go down the inside at the final corner. Or will he? He'll use a bit of common sense and wait for the DRS here, in which he'll pull to the right-hand side, sorry, the left-hand side as late as possible. He's committed and he'll take the racing line, and through Cameron Todd's lack of ERS, he'll have that one sealed. Atlantis trying to fight back as well, up into P15. It's clean out in front, but the mid to lower pack not having the best of times. Surfy and Oliver Crisp, both former Future Racing team members. Surfy having a little bit of a slide coming out of turn 5 and 6. But ultimately, his race has only been looking up as well. 2 positions gained for him, but still Com fantastically up 11. That's Aaron Ocon, I believe, again. Having a torrid time. AlphaTauri needs a little bit of a weight distribution upgrade. I get it. Very good. It's top banter. But let's look at the other AlphaTauri, who's massively dropped out of the DRS range of both Jab and Smeggy, who lead the way here. I'm sure Rundle will play nicely. I'm sure he'll want to have a bit of a battle at some point. And unfortunately, Atlantis has gone around again. No DNFs thus far, but those in no man's land might not be willing to continue much longer. Right, ERS Ardell and ETE Andrea, the Ferrari and the Red Bull, as they did last season in Bahrain. By last season, I mean the real-life F1 season. In the same cars that took Max Verstappen to his 2nd World Championship, and the Ferrari which killed the dreams of Charles Leclerc. Phoenix, who's on the soft, still only got 4 positions. He's going to have to do a bit of management and turn that into a soft, hard stint, you'd assume, because mediums will be a massive stretch. That's now 6 seconds of penalties for Surfy, and Greenhorn is well past him because Surfy, well, he was really far off the track, almost in the support pit lane there, coming out of turn 10. Lap 6 of 29, and that is True Eden around again. At this point, just watch Brighton. What's the score? I said I wouldn't. Brighton. I want the football team. Oh, for piss sake, I'm gonna miss something again. I am gonna miss something again because, well, that's contact between Greenhorn. Oh, almost lost it on the exit of the first corner. It's 0-0 in the 51st minute, if anybody wanted to know. Might have been a bit squeezed there, Ross Greenhorn. It's usually the other way round. And this ERS management is sensational out in front. Apologies again. Aronok on the latest recipient of a 3-second time penalty. I record his first encounter into strict corner cutting. He was not great. And years on, not too much change. Into the pits comes Beatnik, and Blue Goggy has left the session following a spin. Maybe for the greater good of everybody. But he gets invited back because it's just the way it goes, isn't it? Surfy and Greenhorn again, they're having a terrific battle. Just seems to never end at the moment, and Cobb's had a spin. Exit of turn 7. Cobb 45, after a blistering start up 12 positions at one point, is now falling down the order and into P9 at the moment. Let's not ignore Oliver Crisp's rise through the field as well, up 9. Cobb as it stands still up 10. But with a 4-second deficit now, just how costly could that be? We'll be hoping his teammate Rundle, who's currently in 4th, can bring home the big points for Williams. Watching on as a 2-way battle becomes a 3-way battle. Com is suddenly drawn in to the Greenhorn Surfy show, and Greenhorn's going to go the long way round, but as has Oliver Crisp into the first corner. That turned into the inside for turn 2. Can Ross Greenhorn replicate that move? And, well, Com is off the track there. That might be a warning to his name, and possibly an illegal overtake, as Greenhorn might well be frustrated and might try and pinch one down the inside. No, he doesn't. Surfy waits in the wings. Again, you'd assume less desperate to make the move, but what an exit he's had. Oh, and again, both of them this time going off the track. Greenhorn takes the bumpy ride back onto the circuit. They've both lost DRS to Com, who defended brilliantly into the first corner, may I add. And we've had a disconnect. It's Coleus de Gamer who is lagged out here, it seems. Maybe to the sarcastic relief of Com. He might get one position back, or at least gain enough so that he has the chance to when he returns. But of course, Com on the mediums, as is ERS Ardell, and you have to say, a brilliant job by the Ferrari driver who finished 12th last week to keep within touching distance, and I'm sure start to manage those yellow wool Pirelli tyres a little bit better. And he's got a huge gap behind to Oliver Crisp, but he can make this medium to hard alternate strategy work. Maybe even undercut the likes of Andrea, Rundle and Pluto, who are also in this train with him. We've got another spinner. Who is it? Is it Aaron Ocon? Yes, it is. And that's a virtual safety car deployed for that spin. Not a full course, just a virtual. And that might be for debris. And yes, it is, because, well, that front wing, there's nothing left on it. Thrasher and Atlantis take the opportunity to pit for mediums. They're going to try and go the remaining 20 laps of the race. 9 down, 20 to go. It's a big gamble, but one they need to make, both being outside the points. There's no full course safety car, and I'll use the opportunity under the VSC to try again on Coleus de Gamer. Was that a drive-through penalty? No, it was a 3 seconds, but it came right as the virtual safety car finished. Just didn't catch that one in the top centre of my screen. The gap behind 2 seconds, which is only going to grow in the time that Coleus de Gamer's 70 AI difficulty starts to lose a lot of time, particularly through the corners. Are we going to see another change for the lead? It looks like we are, as jab to the right-hand side, down the inside of Smeggy in the Haas. The championship leader makes the move stick, But Smeggy has the DRS. He spun! Goodness me, it was turning into an absolute thriller out front. But just like that, Smeggy, on his own, just as he did in France, going through turns 5 and 6, has lost the back end of his Haas. And without damage, resumes still as high as P6, as I think we've had another spinner on the same lap, just a corner later. Surfy down now into P12. Beatnik, who's obviously on a huge undercut at the moment. Again, another disconnect. Holiest to Gamer now back in the session, of course. I don't know what's going on here at Bahrain. Should we just start drawing numbers and hope somebody fucking wins? Surfy 3-second time penalty. That takes his tally up to 9. Oliver Chris Paz joined back. And the battle for 7th will be an exclusive one, as both drivers have found themselves having to go through the menus throughout the 12 laps we've had so far. Oh, goodness me. Forgive me, I'm scrolling down to the bottom to see that Aaron Ocon has had his latest spin. And he's down into last place at the moment. Well, his first 2 races have been nothing short of sensational. The first one was a difficult battle with his teammate Chungus, who isn't here tonight. And the second has been a promising battle with Smeggy. However, that is no more. For now. Good evening, Edgar. Hope you are well. Welcome to the pit lane and welcome to ERS Ardell. What a brilliant medium stint. Let's not take that away from him. He's on to the hards now for the remainder of the race. 12 laps is not bad at all. Those hards will very easily make it now. And out of the pit lane comes ERS Ardell. He's welcomed by Surfy, who on the 12-lap-old hards and 12-lap warmer hard tyres. He's been through the warm-up cycle. ERS Ardell is yet to, and he defends into the middle of the track, and without DRS, he still manages to hold on, because he has a lot more ERS than Surfy, who switchbacks him with ease coming out of turn 4, and Ardell might have to play a bit of catch-up. So that will start being an obstacle. Will Beatnik have a late lunge? Yes, he will. Down the inside at turn 8. Our third place man from last week has a slide on the exit. Ardell is waved back through on the inside of turns 9 and 10. And he just manages to keep ERS in front to Surfy. If he finds the 2 tenths he needs, it could be game on again in towards the first corner. Hard should now have hit working temperature. Have more ERS to use on the run to DRS detection zone 3, which was specified in the race director notes as a point of interest, because I have seen several times drivers just get a little bit excited and try and give each other DRS and get it all wrong. Almost getting it all wrong there was Jack Harrington, who's already had a wing change in this race. I don't know what has happened to him. He's not going anywhere. This might look like a pedal fault. Aaron Ocon has retired in the pit lane, and just seconds later, Jack Harrington follows suit, and that is Smeggy around for the second time. This time at turn 7. It has been a disastrous fall so far. We've also got a yellow flag for Aaron Ocon at turn 1, for Jack Harrington exiting the pit lane, and perhaps for GSR Thrasher. There's now a lap down on the AlphaTauri of Pluto. Into the pits comes Andrea. This is a bold undercut attempt. He's got Rundle and Pluto to try and jump. And he pulls the trigger and finds himself in a very nice part of the track. Both Hasses in front of him. Both Hasses in their own little race at the moment. But Andrea, 2 seconds clear of Surfy, 3.4 behind the Hasses. With ERS to use. I imagine Pluto and Rundle, who do have a very strategic mindset, will respond on this lap. They've just not left each other alone. Rundle, throughout the entirety of this race, has just been within that 1 second of Pluto, with slightly more ERS at the moment, so their intent is on pushing and maybe trying to respond on this lap. Will the McLaren of Jab lap his teammate Eden? It will be a memorable moment. I do want to see Chungus's reaction when he finds out that Eden was in his seat today, with all due respect, of course. And into the pits comes Pluto, and interestingly, Rundle stays out for one more. He's going for that 2-lap fresher approach on Andrea, and let's go on boards with the Red Bull as he rounds the final corner. It's going to be a race to the pit exit. Pluto initially should have the jump, but Andrea on the warmer medium tyres. Pluto on the inside line into the first corner. That will slow him down massively. His entrance will be a lot slower. I tell you what, that is some distance. Pluto leads Andrea by 1.4 seconds. Will it get any closer? Well, 16 laps. There will be disqualifications. Jab has just pumped in the fastest lap of the race. By 0.02, yes. But he stays out again. Because he is in a world of his own. And out of the pits comes Rundle. Rundle really late on the brakes. So late, in fact, that he's taken himself off the track. He has to cut. Turn 2 and hits Rundle when rejoining. That was seriously unsafe. And somehow, neither of them have got around. But Andrea fighting to try and get ahead of the Williams, who has a slide coming out of the exit. And that move is suddenly made very easy. And a yellow flag because it looks like a Haas is off the track. And that, to me... I mean, if people are going to grief my league, then... Sure. So be it. So be it. Though what it does do, artificially, is brings everybody that little bit closer. And Jab takes a cheap pit stop, which was cheap anyway, because he would have led anyway. Investigating is what I was doing. Rundle is having one or two words about the prospect of being touched by Andrea in the rear, as we saw he had a bit of a slide coming through turn 4. Well, this is the order, and these are the penalties that will be applied. Crispy 3 seconds, Ardell 3 seconds, Surfy on 9 seconds. That will really cost his chances of points. Blue Goggy 3 seconds, Edgar's back into the race suddenly. With no penalties to his name, he gains 3 positions, and that is enough for a point as it stands. Atlantis 3 seconds, and Thrasher, who might be on the lead lap. Might be. I think he is. We'll have an opportunity as well, because he was definitely lapped early on. You know what time it is? It is 0-0 time. And BBC have only put 2 highlights of the game. So if it is that shit, then this is the place you want to be. Unless, of course, there's extra time and penalties. But we'll be finished before then, so you don't have to worry. And Thrasher, while trying to push to rejoin the safety car queue, has picked up another 3-second penalty. Ten laps to go. And it might be the last under a safety car, leaving us a 9-lap sprint to the end, in which Oliver Crisp has got to try and make those soft tyres last. Will he, though? That's a different question. Yes, I know, filmmaking rules. I'm not looking at you at the moment. Try again. It's a good job it's a safety car. Well, I've got the rule book. And I know that it will be used this evening. I'm not afraid to pull out the relevant rules. I'm not afraid to apply the relevant rules. So, are we in on this lap? Yes, we are. And Jab, who's had nothing to do since he overtook Smeggy, who then spun. He's going to have to fend off a challenge from Pluto, from Andrea, from Brundle, possibly Oliver Crisp. It's going to be a difficult top 5. Fucking hell. Right. Let's go racing again in Sakir with Pluto really up the rear diffuser of Jab, and he's going to push and push and push and push with all of his ERS to try and dive around the outside into the first corner. It's the first chance that Pluto has had a sniff for the lead. He's going to carry the speed around the outside and take the lead into turn 2. Jab still on the inside through 3 as they race up now in towards turn 4. Still down the inside is Jab. And while there's all sorts of chaos behind, still, we don't know who's going to lead the race. As Pluto around the outside, he takes the lead of the Bahrain Grand Prix. There's a double DNF for the second week in a row for Haas. The pack has been semi-split up in there. As now Ardell and Beatnik, who both started the race on Beatnik started on the softs. Ardell on the medium tyres has now found himself on a second set. Surfy down the inside of Beatnik, just left enough room. Surfy, though, clipping the rear left tyre and having to take evasive action. Coleus de Gamer, who's had at least 3 disconnects from this race. He's trying his hardest and Surfy spun coming out of turn 11. Didn't look like much contact there to me. Here comes Jab to the right-hand side then. Into the first corner. He's going to try, and unlike Pluto, take the inside line. Crispy is up into 3rd place. Andrea might have well yielded that and thought, okay, soft tyres, 3-second penalty. It is not game over for my first podium of the season and Red Bull's second. Is it game over, though, for Jab and his second race win? Because, well, if Crispy starts getting involved with this fight for the lead, then we could be talking about life being made a lot harder for Jab. And I feel for him because, well, I can question that safety car all day. What I can't question was the lead that he had of, at one point, around 6 seconds, which has quickly diminished. He's got to get using that battery, which he had sparingly throughout the course of his first stint. Only real advantage he has is going to be tyres and DRS, as Surfy picks up yet another penalty, and True Eden has crashed out coming through turn number 11, the long sweeping left-hander which leads you into the right of 12. No safety car to be deployed there. So that's McLaren's first DNF of the season coming through a reserve, as here we go then with Pluto trying to defend once again. DRS enabled this time around. Jab will have the opportunity into turn 4, not turn 1, because there, where the white line is, that's the DRS detection point, and out of bloody nowhere, Crispy around the outside. He takes the inside into turn 2. He's flashing on the ERS front though, so Jab will recognise that. And he'll also recognise the penalty and still saves himself for a rainy day. Of course, the chances in Bahrain, still never have I seen a wet Bahrain, Saudi Arabia or Abu Dhabi League race. I probably commentated in excess of at least 50 combined. That's my guess. Still never watched one from the sidelines either, but the rainy day part is a metaphor. Let me just put that straight. I'm not an idiot. Six to go when we cross the line. And Pluto begins his defence nice and early, pulling to the right-hand side. Here we go, Rundle and Ardell. Rundle, who lost ground to Andrea, thought he maybe should have considered giving up the position. DRS for Rundle all the time. You have to leave a space. Once said Fernando Alonso on the inside of turn 4 at Bahrain. Rundle, though, takes advantage of whatever space he was left and gets through on the inside. Fucking hell, what is going on? Right. Okay. I'm assuming I saw a completely different thing there to what actually happened, which makes nobody's life any easier. Right, here comes Beatnik then, and he's had a really good race and somehow has made a soft compound tyre start work, and this time down the inside of Ardell, he's made the move stick cleanly. Some ERS to use as well. Ardell using the remainder of his 3%. Try and squeeze on through. And Thrasher and Cameron Todd. Thrasher was a lap down at one point in this race, is now fighting for the final points paying position with Surfy on the inside of Cameron Todd. Surfy and Cameron Todd both flashing as he turns, actually, into a turn 7 switchback. That's not often you see that. He'll try and hold it around the outside. Takes evasive action, going onto the curb. He'll use his ERS to try and squeeze down the inside at turn 10. Can he make the move done? I tell you what, just by pure presence, Cameron Todd uses that outside curb. And that massively bottoms out underneath him. He has to go wide. Here goes Jab around the outside of Oliver Crispy. Lost the position on the soft tyres, but now it's really starting to hit his limits. Crispy squeezes in, but with good racecraft still they go side by side, and Jab has to use his ERS and pulls in front of the Alfa Romeo, who has that 3-second penalty to his aim. Oh my fucking god, it's a safety car. Com 45 has crashed out, and we're going to have a 2-lap sprint to the finish. Oh my goodness me. Wow. Wow, 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 wow. My phone needs charging. I found a place for my phone while trying to see the discussion. Pit stops are the most pointless thing in the world. Wait. He did it. He did it, not me. I don't know why why did he pit? Why did he pit? It was there for the taking. Unless he went into AI. That's the only explanation I have. What the fuck are you doing? Well, the safety car is in this lap. I'm going to have a fun time with this penalty report, I'm telling you. Fucking fun time, yeah, fucking as if. Right. 2 to go. And Pluto might have just been handed this on a silver platter. And Pluto has absolutely shot off into the sunset. And I say the sunset, we're well past sunset here in Bahrain. 1.1 seconds to Crispy, who's going to be fighting to keep those soft tyres alive. as we approach the final 2 rounds of the race. I'll get into more deeper discussion when we see the checkered flag. But for the time being, we've got 2 Red Bulls on the podiums and 2 Red Bulls taking the championship fight to McLaren this evening. Rundle's AI off into the pit lane then as we speak to retire from the session. That's not his AI then. And Jab has spun. And Jab has taken Cameron Todd with him. Have you ever seen the like? Why did he pit? And why has he done that? Meanwhile, oh, for fuck's sake. Well. At least he gets the Twitch views up. That's sarcasm, obviously. You know, some people need that explaining to them in 2023. However, Pluto, in perhaps not the manner he wanted to, because winning comes with some negatives, not all. But this time it's different. Let's look at the battle for... Oh, it's not a battle, it's a fucking spin. Wow, yay, I'm so delighted. And this is where complacency comes in, because people see a clean round, round 1, and they go, oh, brilliant, I can fuck up round 2. And I hope some people are proud of themselves, but anyway, Pluto weaves his way down the back straight in towards turn 14 and 15 to complete 29 successful tours of this 5.4 kilometre long circuit to see the checkered flag and win the Bahrain Grand Prix in absolute style, with Andrea and Beatnik making it a double Red Bull podium. Edgar's a really strong P4 for the Latvian, Oliver Crisp in P5, followed by Coleus de Gamer, Blue Goggy. Jab manages to clinch P8. An interesting one for the championship. Well, well, again, I'll let you view the results. The extremely provisional, no disqualifications, no bans, no penalty results. Might I make that clear? I'm not afraid to pull the plug on some drivers' participation because we have a roster of 16 reserves who I'm sure would love to race on the weekly. There we go. Pluto, Andrea, Beatnik, your top 3. Beatnik from 11th on the grid. Trying something different. It paid off with the help of 2 safety cars, yes. You've got to be in it to nearly win it. Is what I'm going to say about that one. Let's scroll down and have a look at today's DNFs. Aaron Ocon, absolute nightmare. Jack Harrington Smeggy, Greenhorn, Eden, Com, and then Rundle retiring in the pits late on, with Atlantis J20 having a bit of late contact, it seems, with GSR Thrasher. Well, Jab saying at the end there he took a gamble because he didn't trust himself taking Pluto on level playing field. Now that is interesting. A bizarre decision, and one that could cost him later down the line. 4 points scored in that race, taking his championship total to 29. I'll try and guess at who leads the championship. Beatnik scored another 15. Beatnik actually overtakes Jab right there. So that is... As does Andrea, as does Pluto. I think Jab will drop to P5 in the standings. So let's see. Having had a look at that, it's with thanks that I'm going to turn off this stream, and I invite you to come and watch the British Grand Prix next weekend, whoever that grid will be formed of, but we make sure we make it happen. We make sure it's a very good one for you to enjoy. That will follow, I'm pretty sure it's Baku race weekend, so just a few hours after that one. If you're missing a racing fix, then more than welcome to accommodate you. But until then, take care. Bye-bye.